Hello, everyone. Coach Misty, faith-based relationship coach, helping women win at love and marriage. Welcome to Kingdom Wife Bootcamp, where I prepare singles to become winning wives. And we are in the Real Relationship Goals Masterclass. If you don't have my new book, you can purchase it on Amazon under Misty Goodwin. This will help you to navigate through the different modules that we'll be teaching right here on my YouTube channel. If you found me on kingdomwife.org, welcome to the Kingdom Wife Circle. Or if you found me on any of my social media platforms, make sure you stay connected. So yesterday we began this new masterclass, Real Relationship Goals, and we talked about vision for what you want and desire in a relationship. And we talked about the needs, wants and needs you have, and every relationship must have these 5 components in order to manifest God's success, right? And we talked about mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Oftentimes, many will pick one or the other or multiple, but will not make sure that they have everything they need for the relationship to prosper. And so, today we're going to talk about your physical needs. And physical needs is usually the number one need that everyone finds fulfillment in. And so for a man, he can find a woman who meets every need that he wants and desires physically, but she may not be what he needs mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, or financially. A man usually will override those things just for compatibility. And that's what physical needs is all about. It's about, first of all, your appearance. Are you easy on the eyes? Is it what you want? Is it what you need? And then, of course, companionship, right? Is this someone I can live the rest of my life with? Now, hear me good. You can absolutely be in a relationship with a man that tells you that you are everything they need. But what does that mean for you if a person is not everything you need? And most of the times, women will compromise a man not giving them everything they need mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Now, again, this is not about a man being perfect. It's not about you being perfect, but it's simply that they have the 5 components that you have need of in a relationship. And so, first of all, physically, is he what you want and desire physically? Now, oftentimes, again, another thing that happens in the physical realm is that a person may not be the weight that you want, or maybe they have issues with their teeth, or maybe they have issues dressing. Now, you got to always keep in mind that if a man has all the other 4 attributes and physically he's struggling with his weight, or he's struggling with something, whether it be a bald head or the way he cuts his hair, and it can go vice versa. You got to always remind yourself that we judge the outward appearance of men. God judges the heart. You want to make sure he has all the other components that are very necessary for your relationships to be prosperous. Does he have character? Is he integral? Does he respect and honor you and appreciate you? Will he love you as Christ loves the church? So don't get caught up in all the physical realm as a companion. Is sexual compatible? Again, that should not be in the physical realm, because that should be in the spiritual realm after you say I do. Now, when you put in the physical of sexual satisfaction and you look for that man to please you before you say I do, you open up doors of soul ties, sexual soul ties, that can cause you to override that person not being everything else you need, because you want to fulfill your physical needs, which is the spirit of lust. The spirit of lust can operate in a place that you override all the other needs and necessities of your life, and it will cause yourself to be married and miserable. And so you got to make sure that all the elements physically line up with what you need spiritually, because if he is all that 6'3", fine, bald head, what good is that if he's not integral? What good is that if he doesn't have character? What good is that if he can't water you with the word? What good is that if he does not know how to cover you, doesn't know how to protect you, who does not know how to lead you, right? And so you got to make sure that the physical elements of a man does not override the necessity of what you need mentally or emotionally or spiritually or financially. And those are the areas that most women will overlook based upon what they're getting fulfilled, right, in intimacy, which shouldn't be in the first place, because it should be after I say I do that I involve that realm into the relationship. And so today, write a vision for what it is you need physically. When it comes to the sexual fulfillment, again, you don't want to get caught up in that. If you really believe God is going to give you the man and the desire of your hearts, you have to believe that the sexual fulfillment part is going to take place. And so if you base a relationship based upon that, it's not based upon love. It's based upon gratification and lust and spiritual perversion. All these things are open doors for Satan to negate or ignore or neglect the other needs. And you may say that that's going too far, Coach Missy. I know what I need physically. Well, again, this is what I want to say. Don't invite God into a relationship that you're not willing to do his way, because he's not going to co-sign on anything that doesn't line up with his word. He's going to allow you to allow your permissive will to override his perfect will. When you decide to do it God's way, his perfect will override your permissive will. In other words, you say, now I really like this guy. He's everything I want and need and desire. But if it's not God's will for my life, then I don't want that more than I want God's perfect will. Again, God's perfect will requires you to get in agreement with God, but you still got to walk out the journey and the process. And in that, you got to know that everything you need physically, God is going to make sure that that man lines up. And again, my husband and I married before we had sexual gratification. We had to believe that because mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, all of those components lined up. And again, we were two imperfect people ready to love each other perfectly through Christ. And because of that, the relationship was able to withstand anything that the enemy has come against it, right? So again, your assignment is to write out what you need mentally. Today, we're talking about what you need physically. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain on tablets. And without a vision, my people perish. You need a vision for your relationships. That's what real relationship goals is all about. It's helping you to navigate your relationships to God's success. And God wants you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And we understand that relationships are caught up in the soul realm. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow. All right. So if you have any questions, hopefully you're walking this out. Hopefully you purchase the book. Go to Amazon, click on Real Relationship Goals, type that in, or click the link in my bio. Make sure you follow my newsletter and you subscribe to that. And you are a part of the Kingdom Wife Circle communities, where we are engaging in one another to focus in on faith, family, finances, and our future. It's time for you to win at Love and Marriage, but you got to do it God's way. God bless, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.